Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I focus on everything luxury beauty and fashion. If you're interested in the latest fashion and beauty trends as well as luxury vlogs, then you are in the right place. Today we're going to talk about the latest price increase by Hermes. We're going to talk about quota bags, small leather goods, as well as toiletry bags. We're also going to talk about the price differences in Canada versus the US versus EU so that you can get a better understanding of where you can get those highly sought after Hermes bags at the cheapest price. And then I'm also going to share my experience shopping from the official Hermes website versus in the actual physical stores. At the end of this video, I'm also going to talk about my recommendations in terms of your first entry level Hermes bag. So if that's something that you're interested in, please make sure that you continue watching. And I also want to mention that I recently went to a Hermes private sale during which I picked up some very nice items I would like to share with you guys in the form of a vlog. And I will also take you guys to the newly renovated Louis Vuitton boutique, which features the iconic Louis Vuitton trunk in the middle of the Manhattan skyline. I will also show you some very rare limited edition Louis Vuitton bags that you can't really see elsewhere. And then I'm also going to take you to the world's largest Swarovski flagship, which opened last year. And in that store, they had some very exclusive creations on display, such as the Cinderella shoes that's part of the Disney movie, as well as accessories and clothing worn by celebrities during their concert performances. If that's something that you're interested in, please hit that subscribe button to join the fam. So without any further ado, let's dive into the price differences. So I'm first going to give you an overview of the general price increases, and then we're going to go into the individual models, and then I'm going to talk about what are the prices right now in 2025. If you're familiar with Hermes, you know that they're very discreet in terms of the prices of their bags. The sources of my pricing information is mostly coming from my sales associates at the boutiques that I visit very frequently, as well as the official Hermes website. Let's start by talking about what everyone is interested in, which is quota bags. So in the US, quota bags generally increased between 6 to 8%, with some models increased more than others, such as the Constance 18. And in terms of non-quota bags in the US, in general, the price increases are less than 10%, whereas in Canada, the price increases are quite significant. Certain very popular models, such as the Mini Lindy, increased by almost 20%. Most likely it's due to the fact that the Canadian dollar depreciated quite a lot in recent years. In the EU, however, price increases have been a lot less compared to other countries. So price increases stayed around 5%, which is on par compared to previous years. It's also very interesting as I compare the price increases across different countries. You can really get a sense of which model is very popular in which country. For example, in Canada, the prices of Evelyn increased between 10 to 15% depending on the size, whereas in the US, the same model increased by about 5%. Let's talk about the quota bags first. So for example, Mini Kelly went up by around 6%. And then Kelly 25 increased by about the same. The European prices, as mentioned earlier, went up by less than 5%, and the current price for a Mini Kelly, including VAT, is at $7,450. This is significantly lower than the US price based on the current exchange rates. You will save around 2,000 euros if you purchase this bag in Europe, and this is not including the additional 10 to 15% VAT refund for people that do not live in Europe. Comparing the Canadian price, the US price is also quite a bit higher. You will save around 2,000 Canadian dollars if you purchase this bag in Canada based on the current exchange rates. Now, between the European price versus Canadian, the European price is about 1,000 Canadian dollars cheaper based on the current exchange rate, Plus, you get to save another 10 to 15% on VAT. So the European price is by far the cheapest. And then in terms of Birkin, the price increase is about 6% for Birkin 25, same as Birkin 30. Similar to the Kelly, the European price went up by less than 5% for the Birkin 25, which currently retails for €89.50. This is around €2,500 cheaper compared to the US price, plus VAT refund based on the current exchange rates. Similarly, the Canadian price is also cheaper than the US price by around 3,000 Canadian dollars. However, the Canadian price is more expensive compared to the European price by around $1,000 plus VAT refund. Again, the European price is the cheapest among all three currencies. In terms of the Constance 18, the price increase is quite significant in the US by 8%, which is much higher than that of Kelly and Birkin. However, the price in Europe was only 2%, which is lower than the other two quota bags, which is quite interesting. The European price is again the cheapest with a saving of more than €2,000 compared to the US price, and the Canadian price is the second cheapest with 2,700 Canadian dollars saving compared to the US price. However, it is more expensive than the European price by 500 Canadian dollars plus VAT refund. And in terms of non-quota bags, starting with the US, the price increase is between 5 to 10% as well. Certain models, such as Evelyn and In the Loop, had less than 5% increase. And most others were kind of right in between 5 to 10%, so around 7% increase, such as the Della as well as the Picotin. And certain other models had slightly higher than 10% increase, such as the Garden Party 49 and her bag Cabin, which is a little bit surprising because they are very, very large size bags. In Canada, most popular bag models increased by 5 to 15%, including the Della, the Belindi, the Pickleton, the Gypsy, the Geta, the Garden Party, the Herbag, the Evelyn, as well as 2424. Some bags had less price increase, such as In the Loop, which only saw about 5% increase, same as the Acorn bag and Persango. There are also certain bags that saw more than 15% increase, which is very significant, and this includes the Rollis bag, Lindy, Palumi, as well as the Belindi racing bag, which is already priced at a very high price point given the fact that it has a very limited edition and very eye-catchy design. Certain bags also had price decreases, which I thought is a little bit interesting because I've been monitoring the Hermes website for about 3 years now, and this is the first time that I saw price actually decreased for some less popular models, such as the Bolero bag, as well as the Dorsey to Go, which I think was released last summer. And certain other bags also had no price increase, such as the Steeple bag. Another thing that's quite surprising is the very famous horse-shaped bag charm, which is known as the Rodale, also saw a little bit price decrease in Canada, which is a little bit surprising because that used to be a very highly sought after product. It's rumored to be as hard to get as some of the quota bags. However, in recent months, I noticed that when I visited the Toronto boutique, they have Rodales available in many, many colors for people to pick up in the boutique. So I'm not really sure what's going on. If you have any additional information on that, please comment down below because I'm quite curious. In terms of SLGs in Canada, most of the price increases are again in the 5 to 10% range. The same is true for SLGs in the US. In terms of toiletry bags, the very popular model Brit a Bragg and the Belindi Crazy H toiletry bag had about 5% increase. So now I'm going to talk about my experience shopping from the official website versus the actual boutique. So I have to say, if your dream bag or if the first entry bag that you want to get is not a quota bag, you can totally go onto the their website and, try to wait for your chance. I actually personally got a Evelyn 29 from the official website, and I also did an unboxing, which I'm going to link down below in case you are interested. On the Canadian website, you can see some of the really popular models such as Mini Evelyn, Picotin, and the Her bag, and Della, and many other very popular models. So it's totally possible if you monitor the website all the time, you may be able to score your dream bag that way without playing the Hermes game. And in terms of SLG, they are pretty much always available on the website. I know that in the US, they usually don't release Constance Slim on the website because it is one of the more popular models that you can convert into a mini bag. But I do see that all the time in Canada. Right now on the Canadian website, there are 5 different options that you can choose from. Some of the very popular SLGs, such as the Kelly To Go, did show up on the Canadian website as well, but they don't show up all the time. I've been checking the US website and I've never seen those popular SLGs showing up there. For those of you that are new to the Hermes game, and if you want some recommendations on your first entry level Hermes bag, I do have a few recommendations. So if you want to invest in something that's less than $1,000, I would recommend you to look into their toiletry bags, such as the Brit a Brac or the Belindi Crazy H. And these bags will give you a sense of the craftsmanship and the quality of Hermes bags, especially if you do enjoy canvas products. So I personally have a pretty good collection of the Brit a Brac bag, which has a very unique shape and is very well made. So I do recommend that as the first test run on Hermes bags. There's always going to be a little bit of brand premium when it comes to Hermes, so that's something that you kind of have to get over if you want to start collecting Hermes bags. But the craftsmanship and quality is very good, even when it comes to some less premium materials such as canvas. And for those of you that are still saving towards a bag, I will recommend bag charms such as the Rodale, because you can really convert a very regular bag into a very quite luxury type of bag with the Rodale charms. And if you have a little bit of a bigger budget, between 1,000 to 3,000, I would recommend you to look into the Hermes Evelyn, especially the Evelyn Mini, which is pretty budget friendly and it's a very casual bag, so you can get a lot of use out of it running errands or going on a trip. The Clemens leather is very soft but durable at the same time. It's such an iconic style that Hermes offers. In the same price range, I would also recommend you to look into SLGs, so the small leather goods, from bag charms to wallets that can potentially be turned into a crossbody bag. So some of the models that I would recommend include the Constance Slim, which I picked up from the New York Flagship. I also did a vlog there pretty recently, which I'm going to link down below in case you are interested. So that bag went viral on the internet because some influencers turned that into a crossbody bag. And for people that have a very petite frame, that could totally work as a mini bag, and it looks very similar to the Constance bag, which is a quota bag. So I do recommend you to look into that. There's another SLG that looks very similar to the Kelly bag. It's called the Kelly To Go, but it does have a higher price tag and it's harder to get as well because of the fact that it is more substantial in size, which kind of looks like a actual bag, and it comes with a strap as well that can be attached to the wallet. So that's something that I would recommend. Other than that, I would also recommend you to look into the men's department. So men's bags typically are priced slightly higher than an equivalent women's bag, but it is a lot easier to get. They are, typically available on the official website, and some of the bags look very similar to their women counterparts. So for example, if you find it difficult to get an Evelyn bag, you may want to look into this men's version, which I think is quite unisex and is quite cute. I actually saw a girl wearing it once and it looks really, really nice. Same as the Kelly bag. In the men's department, they have this backpack that looks very similar to the Kelly bag. It is very pricey, but you don't have to play the Hermes game in order to get that bag. So it's definitely, you know, worth considering if you do have the budget, but you don't want to purchase a whole bunch of things that you don't really need in order to get a bag. And that's all for today, my friends. I hope that the information in this video is helpful. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment down below and I will try my best to answer your questions. As a heads up, I do have a lot of interesting contents coming up. Please make sure that you gave my video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate your support and looking forward to seeing you in my next video.